Hey guys, my name is Siba and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm shooting a video where we are talking soft glam, we're talking daytime friendly makeup, we're talking super affordable makeup. Everything here is super affordable. You can get it at Clicks, you can get it at Discam. It's only one other item you can get from Mr. Price. Otherwise, you're going to be budget friendly, guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, continue watching, engage, tell me what you guys think. I didn't do an intro video, hence we are here with the voiceover. Otherwise, throughout the video I do talk and discuss how this is done. And yeah, love you guys, bye. Color in that brown over there, so I just start from the middle-ish area up until the top, push it down, push it up to my brows. Sorry, I haven't done a video in a while. And then yeah, just blend it out nicely so that it's not that stark color from the concealer. Then to deepen that a little bit, I like to deepen first before I had the highlight. It's just a habit of mine. Other people prefer to use the lighter color then go into the deepening color. I like to go in the deepening color then the highlight. So to deepen that color, we're going to be going with the brown color, which is this one over here, a deeper brown. Is that you can tap it in at the back over here and towards the end of your eye. What you do on the one side, you do on the other, so that you have a bit of what's this word, to be in sync, like your face matches. So if you put in too much to the side, you're gonna have to put in too much to the side as well. So what I do is I like to pack up the amount of product that I want. Then what I'll do is, so you see I use the side to pack it up, then with the top brush, holding at the edge over there, I will push it in and brush it into my eye, lifting obviously my eyeshadow area, and then pull that there. I don't go to the entirety of that dark eyeshadow, I just go towards the edge of it to push it in like so. Then I do the same on this side. I just realized that I haven't done makeup in a long time. The last time I did my makeup was for my mom's birthday on the 15th of August, and before that I can't remember. I can't remember. I've been so demotivated that I've just been like chilling, and I love doing makeup. Makeup's always been something that I've enjoyed doing ever since I started seeing that I have some sort of an ability to work with my face. I've always been interested in doing it. So I go at the top edge of that just to blend it out as well, so it doesn't look like we've been punched in the eye, just to blend out that dark color as well towards the edges over there, that empty space over there. I am not a professional makeup person, so this is literally just me doing something that I like, not because I am a professional, some hectic what. No, this is just me out of liking of something. Then just to keep it simple, we'll just stick to the 3 eyeshadow color system. Then we'll go to a lighter color. Let's go for this color over here. I think that one would work nicely. I've never touched it before, so let's see how it goes. So back in like 2016, 2015, when makeup was really like a hectic thing, we did the whole cut crease thing where you would create a crease with your concealer. But now, because it's more like a daytime glam, you don't want that color to be starky sticking out, so we're just gonna create that cut crease without concealing, without creating that extra base for the cut crease, and then yeah, using this roundish flat brush to create that shape. So what I do is I outline like so, creating like a little semicircle or quarter circle, like so. The other side as well. So it basically touches like the top of your eyeball. And then I'll blend it out like this. Then you bring it back in. This has a bit of like a silverish undertone from what I'm seeing over here. But if it does make it easier for you, you can do like a cut crease if you want a tutorial on how to do that. You can let me know. But yeah. So then what I'll do is I'll just pack up this color. So this is an affordable makeup range that I'm using. But the disadvantage with some of the eyeshadow palettes from Revolution, which is the one I'm using here, is that they're not really that pigmented. Some of them. I have used some that are quite pigmented and the color does stick out. But I find that in Ezinye, it is a bit of a struggle to pick up that color. So you might find that you're struggling a bit with the color payoff and you're going to feel like it's your fault. It's not your fault. The product is just not showing up as much as you would like it to. But it is a nice practice thing to use. So now that I've packed that over there onto my semicircle, so I pack. So what I'll do is I'll take my brush and then blend it in again, like so, depending on how deep you want to go in. But you want to have the browner edge towards the end, maybe towards like here, maybe like the first quarter of your area, if that makes sense. Just to blend that in. Then I like to take the top area of that dark color, blend it in like so, push it back in there. Like so. Then you can take your brush that you used for your transitioning color and then just blend the top area over there. If you feel like maybe your cut crease is a little bit too high and you want to blend it in as well nicely, just to lower it a little bit. So yeah. You can tap in a little bit more, but you don't want to lose those colors, yeah. So just to tap in a little bit. So you want your transition over here to meet with that darker shade at the first quarter of your space that you've created. Then and sometimes these looks come together once you have your whole face done. So that's what we're going to be doing now. So after that, I'll be going in with my Jelly Grip Hydrating Primer, which is over here. I did spot conceal my darker areas. You don't really have to do that. It's just me being a little bit extra and trying to see if I can still do it. Otherwise, you don't have to do it. Rather wait for that to dry down a little bit, I'll be going with my foundation, my L'Oreal True Match foundation. I think this is in the shade Coffee or Caramel, but it's 16W2. Which is this one over here. I've had this foundation since 2023. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because normally you do get told to throw away your foundation after a while, but I really like this foundation, and then because I'm modern, so it'll have to like it'll have to work. So I'm just gonna blend that out. I like to start with the area that have a bit more spots in, and then I blend that out. You want to go from the inside outer area, avoiding your forehead a bit. You don't want to put too much on your forehead. Some people avoid the forehead altogether when it comes to foundation, but I don't really see it as a thing. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. So yeah, I try to avoid my under eye area because I am going to be highlighting as well. So you don't want to have too much product under there because it tends to crease and then it doesn't look right, you know. When it comes to makeup, everyone does their makeup differently. Such just as life, like no one does things the exact same way as if someone else. But I do think that when it comes to makeup and all these things, you want to do what works best for you and not following the trends and whatnot. Yes, trends are great and they help us, but sometimes they are a bit impractical and sometimes they don't work for everyone. So you don't want to do something just because okay, now our brows, we're drawing them like this, okay, now we're doing our concealers like this, you know. In an ideal situation, side note, you do want to have two different foundations. You want to have a summer foundation and a winter foundation because your color, your skin tone tends to change. You know, after summer you get a bit darker, after winter you get a bit lighter, you know. So hence Glam foundation is a little bit darker, but with everything it matches out nicely. That's why I like it so much. So to highlight my face, I'll be going with my Fit Me concealer in the shade 40, which is this one over here. So like I said, because I already added some product earlier, I don't want to put too much again here, but obviously now I'm gonna have to. So I like to focus on the inner area a little bit. I don't drag it down because this is where the light hits your face. So by adding a bit much, you are widening your face or making it more, basically by highlighting and contouring, you're shape shifting your face, right? So if you're adding a bit more highlighter, you might making your face seem a bit bigger. Adding a bit more contour makes your face look a bit smaller. So it all depends on placement of the product and how you move around with the placement of that product. So over here I like to create a little Y, you know, because I don't like to emphasize my forehead. So I'm just gonna wait for that to dry again, and then I'm gonna start blending it out and down over here. Then I pinch this a bit, focusing on my nose area. So I like to do this too, just to pull out those fine lines under my eye. Like her. Switch back to position. It's just that the lighting is dribbling me quite a bit. So yeah, I'm so sorry about that. But I'll be taking my beauty blender, blending that area out nicely again. Now that I have already, but before I put in my powder, my pressed powder, I want to press it in just a little bit more, just to make sure those fine lines are clean and there's no buildup of product in that under eye area. Because once you set that, it stays like that. So you want to make sure you're setting into a and not setting something that just looks weird. So then I'm going to go into my Revolution Bacon Blot powder in the shade Banana Light, which is this one over here. Everything that I use you can get either in this video. You can get either at Discam or Clicks, and I think obviously Take A Lot does sell some of these products as well. So these are easy to access products that I'm using. I'm not using anything exclusive 10. Everyone can use these things. Then I put that under my eye area. You can feel it like suctioning in. Then I put it on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, over here, like so. I like to do this especially if I'm going to have an extra long day. Then you want to make sure that you reduce that shine, and you want to increase the longevity of your makeup. So whatever's remaining on my powder puff, I put it down those areas that tend to crease, like by my nose area, my smile lines over there. I know they tend to appear. Then maybe if there's a bit more left over, you can blend your, not blend, you can set your eyebrows as well to last a little bit longer. So like so. Then if you do have a little bit more time and you want to have, you know, your makeup lasting a little bit longer, then I like to go in with my loose powder. Usually I use the banana one from the banana powder from Revolution Makeup. So Revolution Makeup or Beauty, I forgot what the name is, but the one I have currently is from Quick Face. So you can get this at Mr. Price. So it's this one over here. You can get this at Mr. Price, but Mr. Price also has a banana powder that's actually really good. I like to use the banana powder because it feels like it works a bit better for us people of color, as opposed to using a transition powder, translucent powder, which is that lighter white powder, because that one obviously it's a universal powder, but a banana powder tends to work better for people of color, especially when you're going to be working with your concealers and your whatnot. So what I do is, this is what I do. I take this, I literally double it all in. Then what I do is I will squish it out like so. Literally squish it out. Yes, but squish it out like so. I hate that I'm making myself so dirty. Obviously you can do this over your bin. I think that will make it easier. But that's to even it out onto your powder puff and to make sure that you don't get blotches onto your face. Then you want to lower your eyes to spread out those lines. Pull down your face. So this would work almost like a slight bake, if you will. Then create that line down your nose, forehead. Other people like to create that thing, but I can't do both. I tend to get this wrong, but practice makes perfect. I haven't been a good makeup person since my makeup skills are okay, you know, but by doing this you are sort of, like I'm saying with makeup, you're shape shifting. So this is to create an illusion of a more chiseled face. So I'm doing all of this all to just go collect a package from Foschini. But I haven't done my makeup in so long, and I've just been feeling so down lately. I've been feeling so down, and I hate the fact that I've let that take over my life, you know. I hate that I've let that take over. So I just decided, you know what, Lita on TikTok tells us about makeup Saturdays. Today is makeup Sunday. It's makeup Sunday. I use this time to pack away my things, see what's dirty, what needs to be cleaned with my makeup brushes, what this is much better. Then I use my Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless pressed powder in the shade Toffee, which is this one over here. The lighting is going in and out because of yeah, it's just the season, okay? So please excuse that. But for me to get better lighting, I have to use the center where the light is coming in. So I like to saturate my brush like so, tap out the excess, then I remove these first with that powder spray, which is this one over here. It's a matte fixing spray, so this is gonna come in very handy when it comes to summer. Okay, so while we wait for that to dry, I think we can go in with mascara. Mascara is the one step that stresses me out. I in full process of mascara stresses me out. I don't know when they Buddha or what, but it always smudges on the top of my eye. I saw a trick of putting a piece of paper and doing it, so I'm gonna try that today and see if it works. But otherwise, yeah. So this is what I'm gonna do. So that lady that I saw on TikTok, she put a piece of paper and then she did this. She put a card, but I don't have a card. But I'm using my Essence Lash Princess Sculpting Volume Mascara, which is this one over here. I should get a lengthening one because I do have short eyelash hairs, but guess but these ones tend to be quite lengthening as well. They're quite good. But mascara and stress her out because I do this and then it ends up on my eyelid, touches my nose, like I'm always messing it up somehow. But the one thing I try and do is I try and do one eye, then I move on to another eye so that it doesn't build up too much and it gets too wet and sticks onto my eyelid. So while this one is drying, I'll go in over here to build that up to lengthen my eyelashes like so. If you notice, I haven't really put on eyeliner because it is daytime glam, so I don't really like to look so dramatic. If I'm gonna go have a burger I'm gonna go have a salad somewhere, I don't really see the reason why I should be putting eyeliner, hectic eyeliner. I will be putting it in, but not to a point where like I'm dipped in my eyes like that. Yeah, but like I said, I do what works for me and what works for my face. So yeah, there's also the part where I have to clean up all of this when I'm done. So I know that eyeliner is just going to take a bit of work to remove. Then I think I'll use this for my smaller lash area. So that has dried a little bit. So I'll tilt my face. Going like so. Oh, let's pause on that for now. Let's pause on that. Shem, I think I'm getting a bit more comfortable with talking. Then to contour, I'll be going with my Essence Contouring Dual Palette, which is this one over here. It's in the shade Darker Skin. So what I'll do is I'll take my eyeshadow brush, which is this one. One of my friends had bought me this for these brush sets for my birthday a while ago, and they've been coming in very handy. So I'm gonna start over here. Actually, let's start here. Is this even working? If there's one skill I've never been able to acquire, it's this. The one I lay, but yeah, weak. I've actually given up on being able to install. I have everything to install a wig. I just don't know how to do it. Okanye, at least I think I do okay, but not to a point where I can install other people, you know? And that stresses me out. It stresses me and my homegirls out because I want to be able to do a full glam without feeling like I have to explain myself when I go out. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So yeah, I should have started with my face first before going to my hair for hygiene purposes, but this is all me, so let's pretend as if I didn't do that. Let's pretend as if I did it the other way around. So I'm gonna be using that to contour my nose. So I'm gonna start with the edge of my eyebrows over there, where you hold your brush is what controls how much product you put in onto your face, right? So by using this edge over here, you're moving lightly, so you're not putting in too much. If you're here, you're pressing really hard, so I hold it here. So I'm using that to sculpt my nose. So I look down like so. Once I've put in enough here, I look down like so that I can see where that demarcation is happening and where my nose is getting slimmer on the one side. So what I do is I create that fine line, not harsh line, but where you can see, but okay, that's where the product is starting to show up. And then I brush it down, blend it down onto the rest of my nose. Yeah, just because it feels like you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. That's the other thing, because you will do all of this, look at the camera and be like, no, I can't see it. Look at your mirror and be like, I see it a little bit. And then you go out for your day and you realize you have put on way too much. So for daytime, let's make this daytime friendly. So the side of my nose. And when it comes to a nose contour, you don't want it to be too impractical. Like, you know, your nose is not skinny. Like, you want to make your nose appear skinnier or more defined, but you know you don't have a pinched out nose. So illusion, yes, you are creating that, but don't make it look like silly. Don't make it look silly. So I brush that down like so, blend that out. I think the era of 2016 and whatnot, the era where I started liking makeup was the era where we were fully on showing everything. I'm showing you where everything is. I'm gonna show you where I've highlighted and contoured. So our highlights and contours were very, very stark. So I think trying to move out from that era where that's how you learned how to do makeup and moving out into the era of minimalism, it can be a bit difficult for us, but it has to be done. You absolutely cannot have makeup that looks silly and crazy. Like, if you're going out to go buy a t-shirt, I don't see why you should look like you are on your way to a pageant, you know? Just a side note, I bought myself a tripod to get back into doing my videos, and it's a tripod with a remote where you can press and whatnot while I'm sitting down. But it only clicked to me now when I went all the way to go press the pause button and all the way to go press the resume button, because I did lang. I did lang, that's what I'm saying, but I haven't done this in so long. I'm looking for my contour brush and I think I washed it. Let's see if it's clean. It's clean. So we're gonna use that to contour our face. Oh, but it's a bit damp. So it's gonna create streaks on my face and I don't have any other brush. So I'm gonna be using this brush. It's a risk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. So I like to dabble in both of these because the one is a bit too dark to be my contour color. The other one is a bit on the grayer undertone side. So I blend the two together, pat it out. So I just create a C shape, and then I blend it downwards. You know, one day I will be able to conquer this thing of, blending out, this thing of laying my wig to perfection. One day I'll be really, really good at it, and I'll shock. One day I'll be really, really good at it, and I will shock myself. But okwangoku, it's a struggle. I tell you, it's a struggle. So that's it over there. Then I think it's lips, and then we can put a little bit of highlighter. The blush that I have is more of a terracotta shade, and then I have a pinkish one. I don't want to go in with those today because they're not really matching with this makeup look that we're having. I will bring in the camera a little bit closer for you guys to see the full face because I don't think it's reflecting properly. I'm just putting a little bit of highlighter on the top there. I like to put in highlighter for daytime situations because when you're outside and the light hits, it looks really, really nice. Then for daytime, I like to stick to a brown eyeliner. But I think if we can be a little bit adventurous, we can go in with a white just to match up with that eyeshadow that we have on top. Plus, white eyeliner tends to open up your eyes a little bit more, so I'm just going to be going on that with just the bottom eye area, if you will. So I'm going to be going with mascara on my bottom lashes, like so. Let me bring you guys closer actually. Like I said, this is a very chaotic video, but I'm actually done. I'm just going to do my lips and then we're going to be on our way out. To line my lips, I'll be using literally my eyeliner pencil, eyeliner, lip liner, brow liner pencil that I got from the China Mall. Bought this a couple of years ago. It's a pale to line my lips. So I like to contour my lips as well when it comes to lining them, so I go a bit deeper at the edges over there, like so. Like so. Then I'll be going in with my Maybelline plump lip gloss. I don't know what the full name of this is, but it's in the shade Peach Fever, which is this one over here. It is a plumping lip gloss. If you happen to buy this, please be aware of the disclaimer that this is a plumping lip gloss. It will feel like you've spread your lip, you've spread a jalapeno or a bird's eye chili on your lip. It burns. It gives the plump, but you burn. So I mush that together like so. So it burns, like I can feel it burning now on my lips. So that's that over there. Then I'll be going in with my lip gloss, just to give it a bit of shine. It's an Essence lip gloss. I just forgot the name of this, but if you feel like you've got too much gloss on, you can put a tissue or a piece of paper like I do, like so, and that's fine. Then I put a bit of this on top just to add a little bit of a shimmer on it. So add a bit of dimension and shimmer. And yeah. Also, right, I thought I didn't press record, but I did. Guys, that is our makeup done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. The lighting has disappeared. I think even the weather has just changed. So yeah, I'm just gonna freeze to death all the way to the mall and come back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know if I'll do a nighttime glam next time or whatever, but yeah, this is a super daytime friendly, sorry for moving around, this is a super daytime friendly makeup routine. It doesn't take too long to do. It just needs a little bit of practice when it comes to the eyeshadow, but literally for daytime I like to stick to a 3 color eyeshadow, transition, deepening, a brighter thing. That's it, nothing too intense. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I love you so much and stay blessed.